I'll be monitoring YouTube. Oh, hey, so we live. Press live. Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
This is a very special, I guess, live where we are going to be discussing one of I feel like, the greatest and most important
Role of our society.
Yes.
Motherhood.
Motherhood. Yes. So, I am Danielle Simmons.
I am Elton Simmons, and we are our family Exodus.
And we are being joined today by some beautiful mothers. We have a few that will be coming in maybe a little bit later on in the live. We'll see. But we have Miss Erica Frazier and Miss Alicia Scott.
Hey.
All right. So we will turn it over to you guys to just introduce yourselves to our audience. And we'll start with Miss Erica.
Well, my name is Erica, as you guys can see. I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan. Hey. Buena Vista alumni. And also, I currently reside in Florida right now. So I'm a mom of six. Yes, I got six.
Star Squad.
Four girls first and two boys last. So the ages are... My oldest daughter finna be 23 in September.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I got a 15-year-old, a soon-to-be 14-year-old, soon-to-be 13-year-old. So the three girls in the middle, I call them the wolf pack because they're a year apart. Nice. And then I have my boys that is my baby boy, Caden, just turned 4. And then I have my other son is 10. His name is KJ. So... Oh my goodness! It's cool.
All that estrogen in the home.
Yeah,
but he got a partner though. He got a bite.
Yes. Not alone.
The girls say we got the start. Y'all can finish it
up. Let me see. The only platforms that I'm actually active on right now is really Facebook. And it's my whole name is, Erica Nicole Frazier. So that's, you can follow me on there. I am goofy, I love putting up things about my kids, myself, and so I like inspiring other women, period. And just trying to be a light source for other people, because I do know that that's what my calling is. I'm definitely a helper.
Right. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. And now we have Alicia Scott.
Hello, everyone. I am Alicia Scott. Now, I don't have as many kids as Erica over here, but I got 4. We're close. I have 4. My oldest is Philip Jr., but he goes by DJ. He's 14. He'll be 15 in July. And he's driving now, so y'all pray for me. He is driving. My next child is Coday Denise. She is my 11-year-old. She's my only girl. So, she got me wrapped around her little finger.
Yes. I know how that feels. I was like that too.
And then I have a 5-year-old named Andre and a 3-year-old named Jeremiah, who goes by JJ. And it's a huge age gap between my daughter and the last two, because Andre was Mr. Surprise. And then I told my husband, we just had to have another one. He needed a friend. So that's how we got JJ. And Lord bless me, because those boys, and I just call them the boys because they are just thing 1 and thing 2. That's all I gotta say. Okay. But anyways, I have been happily married for 14 years now to my husband, Daniel Scott. Shout out to my boo. I'm originally from Riverside, California, but now West Coast, you already know. But now I live in Des Moines, Iowa. Yes, Iowa. There are Black people in Iowa. Don't be.
Y'all, you are fruit. You like corn.
we have more than corn, but I am close to a cornfield. But yes, so my Instagram handle is Mrs. _A_ Scott 89, And then my Facebook handle is Alicia Code Scott.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay. And this is diva extraordinaire, Miss Actress, Singer.
Oh.
Yes. Let's put some of that out there too.
Okay.
Yes.
Starring in.
I have gotten back into acting now.
Yeah.
So I have been in 2 shows this year so far. The first one was The Odd Couple, which was one of the local community theaters. I was the lead role in that.
Okay.
And then I just finished up my last production, Beautiful, which is the Carole King story at the Des Moines Playhouse. And I was one of the Shirelles, and then also Janelle Woods in that show. So I'm putting my feet back into the acting, you know. I've been singing for a long time, singing on our worship team at church, and been singing with my husband whenever he tags me along to come sing with him wherever he sings at. But no, this is my first time now, like stepping in the forefront and doing my thing. And now my daughter got the acting bug. She's doing a show this summer, School of Rock. And my husband is also in the show as well. So it's going to be great. Yes, that's
I'm
it.
proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So I'll go. I'm Danielle Simmons, as I said before. I have 2 children. My oldest is my daughter, Camille. She is 11, going on 25. And I also have a son who is 6 years old, and his name is Noah.
All
So,
right.
yes.
Yeah. It's a lot. Too.
You don't get to, this is mom's, okay? Nope, no, none of that. You don't get to.
Why y'all gotta do E like that? Come on.
And we have.
All right.
We got.
You on, sis?
Hello.
Come on.
So you in perfect time. We doing intros. So just a minute to y'all. So this is one of my big sisters. I am from a family of it's 11. I have a sister that's deceased, a brother that's deceased, and these are my sisters. This is one of my oldest sisters. If you don't know, my oldest sister is Latanya Braxton. My oldest brother who's deceased was Elton Carl Simmons Jr. Monet, we called him. And then Tamara is the next oldest. This is my big sister. And so I'm happy to have her on. So go ahead, introduce yourself. So we're doing how many kids you got, and just talking about being, and what else? What was the other introduction part? I forgot. Just how many kids you got, if you want to say what you do. I'm excited to have my sister, y'all. I just want y'all to know I'm super excited. My sister, I'm going to gas her up a little bit. She is like a super motivational speaker. She lives in Saginaw. If you don't, I'll let her talk about what she does in Saginaw. She's a motivational speaker, so I'm very excited to have her. I asked my other sister to join, but she's going to New Orleans this weekend, the oldest, so she couldn't come. So go ahead, introduce yourself, big sis.
All right. My name is Tamara Tucker. Like you said, I have 6 children. One of my children, my oldest daughter, is deceased due to partner violence. So, yes. And I'm a grandmother of now 9 grandchildren. We got 1 bacon, so officially 8 is in the world, and we got 1 bacon, so we got another one on the way.
Grandma Club too.
Yes.
And let's see, I am a parent educator. Oh man, I've taught many classes, and I've done seminars. I recently this year went to Washington, D.C. to talk about parent education and where we fall at, and nothing without us, about us without us. So they can't make any rules and things and say they have things in the community for us. And they're not asking us what exactly do we need. So, and my new career move is I'm a case manager at a homeless shelter, and there I'm also doing parent education there. That's one of the different things that being a parent, you may lose your home.
Yeah.
So, yep, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So before we get started with anything, I want to say first, thank you all so much, including my wife, for doing this. I was just inspired by just my wife and my mother-in-law and my sisters and all the mothers I know. And then Mother's Day coming up. In Mexico, I think Mother's Day is Wednesday. And in the U.S. is Sunday. And so being here, I've met so many amazing mothers here in Mexico, and then I've already established with mothers I knew in the U.S. And growing up, including my own mother. I asked her, but she was like, "I be forgetting stuff, so I don't want to do this." My mom like 70, so she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do it." So it just inspired me to like really talk about moms. I think besides we are in a two-parent household, but I've seen my mother raise me after my parents divorced in middle school. And so I've seen the hard work she put in. My sister raised my nephew by herself most of her life, well, all of her life actually. And so I've seen all the hard work she put in. I watched my wife put in so much hard work in us being in a two-parent household. And so I was just inspired to do this, to let moms talk, have a conversation, shed tears, whatever it is you need to vent about, talk about, but just real conversations, candid, about motherhood. And so I'm going to, with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much. You are appreciated on my pop stuff. I ain't gonna cuss, but you are very, very appreciated. We love you. Without you, I don't know what we would do in this world, all over the world. That's why the calling card was to go on. Now I know someone that's Pakistani. I want her to join. She's a mom, but of course, it didn't happen like that. But who we got is who was here for, and so I'm happy to have y'all. And I just want to say once again, thank you and appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna step out and I'm just gonna ask you questions. It's about.
Here come my little guy, y'all.
Okay, all right. So, listen, we're moms, okay? So you will hear stuff in the background. You're going to hear some kids.
Matter of fact, let me close this door.
So you might see some kids, all right? So we just going to put that out there. Do not if your child's like, "Mommy, I'm hungry, I want a snack." Because listen, that's our life, okay?
It got to be done, yeah.
Somebody got to do it, yeah.
Right, it's all right. It's all good.
Shout out to my mother-in-law who's downstairs with the kids right now. So
Right.
Mine's at the park. Mine's at the park right now.
Oh, you lucky.
Right. That still don't mean nothing. We still might get somebody walking up in here. It's all good.
Well, the two younger ones are taking naps right now, so it's a matter of time before they get down here.
All right, so let's do this.
You already know. I'm ready.
All right. So the first question I want to start with you guys is, how has motherhood challenged or reshaped your understanding of identity and self-worth?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So, oh my goodness, how has it changed my identity and self-worth? And the challenges. All right. So we are going to tip the hat to my oldest daughter, Shania. I became a parent at 17. And so she literally grew up with me, and so a lot of the things that she had to encounter was me going through my growing phase as well, finding my footing, finding where I can identify myself as her parent instead of me. I wasn't in the household with my mom. I had moved and I had my own place. So it wasn't like I was being parented while I'm trying to parent my child. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like that is really, really hard and is really stressful on someone that's trying to be a parent while being parented. So, and then that's where you get where, your kid got to listen to you. They got to listen to, you know what I'm saying? So you don't really get a chance to put your fabric down. It's already fabric there. So that baby is just being pulled into it. So I feel like, with her, I dealt with a lot of, because she's my only biracial child. She's actually mixed with Mexican and Black. So I didn't want to just only have her know her heritage with me. I wanted to make sure that her father's side of the family was included, even though he and I was not together. But I still made sure that I fought for that relationship, for her to be included and involved with her dad's side and her siblings on her father's side. So
Right.
that was more important to me. Even being a young mother, I knew what those babies really needed
Mhm.
down the line. It
Right.
wasn't just it's just for the moment. It was more so like these babies they gotta grow up with each other. They gotta know each other. They need to know each other. Saginaw is small. So my thing was they don't have the same last name. None of them have the same last name. So if we are this close, they could potentially run into each other, like anything. So me fighting for that to make sure that those babies knew each other was more important to me than having any type of tiff or riff with another female that none of us was even married to the dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what was more important was those kids' future.
Yeah.
And so them having each other at the end of the day, and that's what they have. They still are together now. And so with her having 2 children of her own, her kids are not missing out on, not having their grandparents or their great grandparents on her dad's side. So it was the fact that me being a African American woman and my child looked completely Mexican.
Mhm.
So I had to deal with the identity of them not knowing, hey, is this your mom or is this not your mom? Because she didn't look like me. She looked exactly like her father. And so until she was 10 years old, that's when I could start seeing myself in her. It took a while for her to get there, but you get the looks, you get the stares, you get the, they putting you in a box at this point. And it's like, my baby had to deal with on how to identify her. So I had to deal with her being biracial, but at the same time, I had to explain to her that nothing is wrong with the way you look. Girls not liking her because of what she looked like. They didn't know. Teachers didn't know. But I felt like I had to really educate my daughter on this is the reason why they're doing this, because they don't know where to put you, And so those are things that my baby still deal with till this day. And I'm gonna call her my baby because she my oldest and she gonna always be mama's baby, So and I told her I'm glad that I taught her the way I taught her, because she can instill those same values and principles into her children as well, because they gonna always, all of her kids, any kids she have, gonna be biracial. So I had to make sure that I at least give her that, if I couldn't give her anything else, was to learn how to handle herself in those type of situations. That don't mean that they don't like you or they don't hate that they hate you. It's just that they don't know where to put you,
Mhm.
and
They don't understand.
and so that's hard for a child that's mixed. They don't know where they fit.
Right.
They don't know if they fit with the Mexican side or if they white or what. They just know that they're here and they don't have what everybody else can just say, hey, I'm black, and go over here. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have a group. So I
Yeah.
tried to put her in a school where it was predominantly pretty much a lot of mixed children at, so she didn't feel out of place.
Mhm.
It didn't work. It
Mm.
still didn't work.
Oh
You know
wow.
what I'm saying? And so until I took her out of that school, because I seen how the teachers were looking at me, sideways, looking at me crazy and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I don't want my baby to go through this. I don't want her to experience this. So let me take her out of here. And I
Yeah.
took her and I put her in the school where I knew, which was in Buena Vista at Clater. I took her there because I know that foundation. I'm from that. That's in my neighborhood. That's where I come from, in Buena Vista. And I know that we are a melting pot of everybody. And that's not just, oh, it's just black, oh, it's just white. No, we are a melting pot. My neighborhood was a lot of race people there. So I didn't feel out of place. She
Yeah.
didn't feel out of place. She fitted just right. And because I'm listening to everybody else. But when I took her there and I put her in that school, it didn't work for me. What
Right.
may work for somebody else ain't gonna work for you.
Right.
I had
Yeah.
to figure that out. So
Yeah.
when I took her out of there and I put her in where I felt comfortable, where I felt like that's family, my baby ain't had no issues. She ain't had no problems. She ain't had to go through all of that. And those teachers knew. They knew me. They knew my daddy. They, you know what I'm saying? They know my family.
Right.
And so my baby, she felt way better being at that school, because I felt like, okay, this is too early for her to really experience that. But can we really put an age on what these kids can experience? We
Right.
can't no more. We cannot no more, because it's right there in their face. And this, you talking about, this is around a time, what, 2002, 2003? We in 2024 and it's still happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, nothing has really changed.
Right.
So it's just that everything is more readily available, easily accessible now. And
Yeah.
so where I had to protect my daughter was from her feeling like she had to be bullied because of what she looked like. That was the biggest teacher for me, because when you know as a mom and you find out somebody messing with your kid, you be ready to go tear everything up, turn into a Tasmanian devil. Hey, y'all, I want them all, 5 and 4. Come outside.
No
You
killer,
know
but
what I'm
don't
saying? Like, you
Look,
ready to
I
go ahead and go
concur.
that
I
way with her.
concur.
Because you look, you ain't gonna mess with mine, and I know she ain't, you know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
I had to deal with the teachers telling me, you know, oh, your daughter did this, your daughter did that. But see, what y'all fail to realize is that I know my child. You're not gonna tell me what my child is doing when I know her behaviors. I know her behaviors and I know her habits. Now, if you tell me that somebody is bothering her and then she started it, she's not an initiator. She's a reactor. So you got to start something with her in order for her to come back at you.
Right.
So you don't get to dictate how she responds when you started something with her. So that's what I had to get her together and let her know. I always let her know, hey, go and get the right people, talk to the teachers, talk to who you need to talk to let them know, hey, this is happening. Even with me coming up to the schools, it wasn't enough because she studied being bullied to the point where when she was in, I want to say she was in first grade, a fifth grader slapped my daughter on a bus. Slapped my baby on the bus because she did not like her. And the fact of the matter is that where we lived at that time, the mama stayed like 3 apartments down. So you slap my baby and you actually think I'm not gonna come to your house.
Right.
Oh, I went to the house. I did. I sure did. And I went to that school and I cussed them out too. Cause you calling me for something else, saying that she did something else, but did you even know that she was attacked on this bus?
Right.
Y'all didn't even call me. Y'all didn't even talk to me. Y'all didn't even tell me nothing. She had to come home and tell me that this, and then I'm seeing her face all swollen. No, we're not gonna play them type of games.
Yeah.
I'm not with that.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
I talked to the mom. I had to have a talk with her. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not right. Our Black and brown children shouldn't be doing this, because you don't know what this baby done been through. I don't know what your baby been through. So if we sitting here condoning this type of behavior, what is that gonna lead to?
Yeah.
It's gonna lead it's not gonna lead to a sisterhood. It ain't gonna lead to what's right. So if I'm going off half cocked, then I might as well sit next to the mama that allowed her daughter to slap mine. Because I ain't no better. I didn't go there with hostility. I didn't go there with malice in my heart. I went there with trying to get understanding and reason. Let me talk to you. Let me let you know how this affected my daughter in a bad way, because I'm not teaching my child to fight, but I will teach my child to protect herself when she needs it.
That's good. Yeah.
You're not gonna what's gonna talk to your daughter, and I have to let this one loose. You ain't gonna like the outcome, because she got hands, but I'm telling her to keep them down. You know what I'm saying? The last name holds weight. We not gonna play with that. That's Frazier. We talking about Joe. We're not talking about we're not talking about no Frazier off the TV show. I'm talking about you get up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to let her know that every time somebody do something, it doesn't deserve
we ain't gonna do this
reaction. So that was my thing of having to couple her with, because by the time she got into middle school, it escalated. It escalated. You know what I'm saying? And this is because these schools are not talking to these kids. They allowing these children to do what they want to do.
For
And
sure.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you
yeah, I think what's important is like, because as mothers, we feel, I think what it does is it emboldens us, right? So like whatever version of ourselves before we have kids, you know, you might be like a little bit more timid, you might be, you know, but when you have a child and somebody that you have to protect and somebody that you have to, you know, guide through this world, it takes on a whole different, you know,
oh my
different
goodness,
different
Yeah,
thing, you know what I
it
mean?
does.
that
So
mama bear
yeah,
come
like
out.
your story of like your daughter in school, like that is what it does. It's like, no, I'm going to advocate for my child. I'm going to, you know, to make sure that they are safe, that they're protected, that they, you know, have the tools that they need to you know, get through life and to, you know, advocate for themselves, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I agree with that. Like that's definitely something that I think that every mother encounters, you know, is that yes, we have this intense love that you know happens when we have this child, but it's also that protector that you know kicks in, and it's like whatever I need to do to make sure that my child is okay and that they're gonna be good wherever they are, I'm going to
Yeah.
do these things, you know.
Yes.
And yeah, that was really really powerful, Erica.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we have Jacqueline that just joined us.
Happy Mother's Day almost.
Yes, Day.
Happy
Hello,
Welcome,
Mama Day.
thank
Happy
you.
welcome.
Mama Day.
Thank you. Same to
I heard
you.
that there was a party.
Yeah. So we want you to just introduce yourself. You know, tell the people a little bit about you, how many children you have, their ages. Just kind of, you know, let us know a little bit about yourself real quick.
Oh, sure. Well, my name is Jacqueline Richardson. I am a Washingtonian, so I grew up in the DC area. So we didn't grow up around Frasers, but we grew up around Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray was the homeboy. So I grew up learning how to box too. But I'm a wife and mother of two. But I have grown guys. I have hombres, as we say in Spanish. Xavier is 24. He's a Spanish teacher in New York City. And Miles is 21, and he is a cook in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I also live in Mexico in a little town called San Miguel de Allende. And that's how I know Elton and Danny. But yeah, I love being a mom. I love being a mom. I love being a daughter. I love my mother. And so I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course, of course. And okay, so the question that we had, if anybody else wants to tackle this before we move on to the next one, was how has motherhood challenged or reshaped your understanding of identity and self-worth?
I'll answer that next.
Okay.
I would say it challenged me to grow up faster than I wanted to. I had my oldest son when I was 19. And so I was the baby of my family. So I have two older brothers and then it was me. So I was used to being spoiled, used to being catered to. And then now I gotta take care of somebody else. Lord help me, okay? But thankfully, my boyfriend, who is now my husband, throw that in there. Anyways, he's a stand-up, you know, man, and so I've had him to support me throughout the whole way. How it helped me reshape my identity, I think it really came into play when I had my daughter, because I get very insecure, whether it comes to looks, to my skills, to work, whatever. But having her caused me to have more confidence in who I was and who God created me to be, because I couldn't be walking around talking about, oh man, I'm too big for this outfit, or man, my face is not it today, because I had her looking at me. And I was like, listen, I can't be talking negatively about myself and expect her to have confidence in herself.
Right.
Now, she definitely takes after her father when it comes to the confidence, because sometimes I got to get her to tone it down just a little bit. She comes off a little cocky, but you know, it's fine. It's fine, because I'd rather have her have that than the lack of confidence that I had. And also being a mother it always causes me to think outside of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think about what works for me. I got to think about what works for all the children.
Yes.
One of the biggest things was moving out to Iowa when the older two were younger. It was very uncomfortable, mainly because I was away from all of our family. And I was like, I'm in a new state with people that don't look like me. California is a melting pot. Okay. We got all walks of life. You come to Iowa, it's on, you know, you got a lot of non-Black people here. And
Okay.
trying to give our children that confidence in their skin color was very challenging. Trying to tell them that, you are beautiful the way that you are and the way that God created you to be. So those are some of the challenges we faced being out here. But I would say I'm still learning. It's still a challenge, and I'm still being reshaped, and I'm still molding, and I'm still turning into someone new every day. But yeah,
That's good.
that's my answer.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I will go next.
Mhm.
And can you reread the question for me?
Sure can. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
how has motherhood challenged or reshaped your understanding of identity and self-worth?
Ooh, that's really good. So I too was a mom at 17, a teen mom. Didn't know the next one was going to come as fast as that first one. So by the time I was 20, I had 3 children.
Mhm.
Hmm. And so, and I was the one that always said I didn't want children. I don't want to bring children into the world. Oh yeah. Every time I said, I think God was like, okay, you're gonna have another one.
Yep,
So,
drop another one.
yep. So I stopped saying it. By that time, I was already 5. I was on the 5th one when I said it. And so just going through and growing through the things that I had to grow through, because I had to grow through a lot of things, a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of heartache, a lot of fears, a lot of frustrations, just a lot. And it was always, you always felt inadequate, but your children don't know that. They never see that. You know it. But when they come to you and tell you they love you, and you're able to tell them that back, and they don't see any of the flaws that you see, because we are our biggest critics when it comes to us, because we want the
Yes.
world to be perfect for them. But it's not going to be perfect, but
Mhm.
it's perfect in our home for them. And
Right.
that was the part I had to understand. And that's where I began to grow. And then when they got to be teenagers, I had to rely on God wholeheartedly for that part. I kid you not. I have my middle girl acts just like me to the T. Woo! Oh, before I go on, one of the biggest things that I did, I prayed for my children. Always prayed for them. But
Yes.
one of the things I prayed was that they don't become teen moms.
Mhm.
I didn't know if my mom did that or not, but God surely heard and granted me those prayers. None of my
Amen.
children were teen parents at all. I knew
Yeah.
God probably knew I couldn't handle it. So that's probably why they having all their children now all at once.
Mhm.
And so one day my daughter, and we were going through those head bumps. We bumping each other heads, and she felt like I wasn't letting her be herself, because our kids they gonna follow what we do, so they gonna
Yes.
be dependent on us. But when they come to that interdependence that we taught them, y'all know we go against that. We like, no, I want you to do this, but we're teaching them to be independent, telling them to be independent. And then
Yes.
when they want to go against the grain, it's like, no, but I want you to do this.
Mhm.
We taught them to say, well, that's not what I want for my life. So one
Right.
day, me and my daughter, look, I done got her hired at my job. I'm ready to wring her neck, like literally, because she's snatching up papers because she got an attitude. I'm like, oh, little girl, if I wasn't at work. But God told me to take the paper. And mind you, I'm teaching class. I'm at a church. God told me, take a piece of paper. He said, write down 4 things you want for her life, and then give her the paper and have her write down 4 things. The way she snatched that paper up, she almost didn't make it. She almost didn't make it to write them 4 things down, but the 4 things she wrote down was completely different from what I had wrote down. And so that's where my mind shifted and flipped. And I'm like, how can I be teaching parenting classes and I'm not, I'm not doing all the things that I'm teaching. So that paradigm shift for me, and it helped me be a better mother, parent, person, because I realized I was trying to live my identity through my children. And we
Yes.
have to continue to keep ourselves separate. We have to continue to go on a date separately from ourselves. Yep, the kids have a play date, but we need to go and make sure that we're staying Tamara, because I knew myself as Anthony's mom, Catherine's mom,
Yes.
but I didn't know myself as Tamara, so I had to revisit me again and get back to me. And hey, I didn't knock anybody out. Didn't have to, because
Yeah.
it changed my whole mindset. Now
Growth.
I will go there, and I tell my kids, I'll yell and I'm loud and I'm passionate. That's because when you're invested in something that you
Yes.
truly love, you're very passionate, and it comes out like that. You don't mean to yell or act out like that, but it's the passion that's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I answered the question.
Yes, you did.
All right.
And you gave some gems too.
Definitely.
For, yeah. Yeah.
Well, for me, it was about appreciating my children.
Mhm.
And I also was a praying mother. I also was a young mother, started off a single mom, married a baby daddy, and all that, just the total untraditional way of starting a family. But God is merciful. And raising them with a Christian worldview was the best thing that could have ever happened to them and to me. And
Absolutely.
starting off, just to piggyback off of Tamara, really, I didn't like my youngest, and he was a little guy, and I'm like, Lord, I don't like him. Like, I really want to drop him off somewhere out there amongst the rainbows and the sugar plums and the stars. Like, I wanted to drop him all the way off. And but I prayed for him. I prayed for me, right? I prayed for our relationship, our family. And the Lord told me a few things. One, what you see in him, it's in you. See, God gonna get you first. And he got me. And then he challenged me. He said, if there's anything in your son that you don't like, get it out of you first, and then teach it out of him. But then if it's things that you like, once you really look at it, it's like, you know what? We are personality twins, right? It's like, okay, it's actually not such a bad, trait to have. So then he said, now if you can assess it and like it, appreciate it in him, and then appreciate it in yourself. Because oftentimes we walk through life and we don't even like ourselves. Or like you said, we don't have confidence or we have low self-esteem. And it's really because we don't like or love ourselves in the appropriate way. And so that's something that I know I learned because of, due to being a mother.
Yes.
And then having my little personality twin challenge my whole life.
Listen, we're gonna get to that. We're definitely gonna get to that. Hey D, D's watching. Hi D. But I definitely wanna talk about what you said about not liking a child. We'll get to that. I'm gonna answer too. For me,
It's real. It is real.
Very much so.
It's real. So how motherhood has challenged or reshaped me in my understanding. I'm an only child, so I am spoiled, and I, I don't need the cosign, but yes, I was a very spoiled and
continued all through marriage and took kids. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Not about motherhood.
For me, when I found out that I was pregnant, my main thing, and I feel like it started very, very soon after I got pregnant, was to want to be my best self. And Alicia talked about this, just the insecurities in myself and, just feeling you know, inadequate and all of those things. Like I wanted to make sure that I was my best self, even while I was pregnant. Like I was really like, I want to be positive. I want to have a positive mindset. I want to, you know, just have those things, you know, just in my spirit, because I knew that even as she was growing in my womb, I wanted her to feel that love, and I wanted her to feel the positivity and all of those things. So yes, like it definitely deepened my prayer life. It definitely deepened my walk with Christ, because I wanted to make sure that when my children were here, that I was able to give them wisdom. I wanted to give them, you know, the things that you know, I was only child. It was just me. So I have to look out now for somebody else. So that was the biggest thing for me, was making sure that I was working on myself to be able to present that to my kids. I definitely didn't want them to grow up in a negative environment. I wanted them to grow up in a house full of love. And yeah, like that was I think the biggest thing that just was that helped shape and change me for the better. I feel like I'm not as selfish and as spoiled anymore. You know, but also, as someone else said, as Tamara said, keeping your identity also. You know, I'm a mom, but I'm not just a mom. You know, that's not my, you know, you know, God created me and gave me, you know, things to do, and gave me, you know, talents and desires and passions and things like that, for me to also still fulfill in my own life, you know. And I see Alicia also doing that, you know, with her acting and getting back into her acting and her singing and the things that she has passions and desires for. So that also, it can be a challenge, because you know, you have your life and you have food that you got to put on the table. You got bills that you got to pay. You have, like, you know, things that you have to do. And those passions get pushed to the side. You know, it's like, I have to, you know, take care of home first. But, you know, getting back to those things is also very, very important too, as a mother as well.
Right.
All right. So what do we do? Let's talk about it. What do you do when you have a kid that you don't necessarily, you're not meshing, you know, that whole, when they say motherly instinct is just kicks in, and you're like, this is, you know, my baby. But what if you have like a little clash of personality with your child? Like, how do you navigate that?
I went through that with my oldest. She's the only one that I went through that with. And I feel like she's a mirror. I really feel like she's a mirror. Because my, you know, that girth that comes out, and you be like, did you, I know you ain't just say that to me, you know, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you be ready to yeet them up like real quick. Be like, girl, you better get it together, you know. So with me and her, I know how to handle her because she's a Libra. So Libras are very, 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 they tenderhearted, you know, and they have big hearts. So the way you can get to them is to hurt their heart. You get physically, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? They bounce back, but Libras, they are big babies, big babies. And so by me being an Aries, I'm fiery. I be on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, you got to do this. And then she's backing up and she's just like, well, no, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so how I started handling her was like, if she's not going to give the 180, I ain't putting nothing in. Cause you're not gonna have me spend my money saying that you are for this, and then I go and I start investing it, then you back out. I ain't losing my money messing around with you. I'm not finna play with you like that. You ain't gonna empty my pockets. So I just was
Do you
like, you
make
know
her
what?
earn it on her own?
Yeah, because I need to know that if you not
Invested.
in it, quit asking me to be all in it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to start learning her. I had to start learning that if I jump in too fast, then it's gonna cost me. So I had to learn how to be patient because Aries ain't patient. We not patient. We not. I'm not. I'll be ready to get it done and over with. Baby, hurry up, because you take it too long. And so she liked to drag her feet, but she also likes to be reassured. So I had to learn that as well, going through that. I didn't had the pause and, hey, Shania drunk, this is going on. And I'm like, Lord, not a dang on again, not again. I had to deal with her in a more of a I had to embrace her more. I had to embrace her, because if I kept using my pushback, her pushback was coming too. Because I had to learn, she got to be balanced, and Aries has to be balanced as well. We don't like to be thrown off, and she don't like to be thrown off. So I had to counteract what was happening, because if I respond with brute force, I'm gonna get that back. That's why I say it's a mirror. So in turn, I had to counter what was happening so I could stop it and let her know, hey, regardless of what you got going on, I still love you. You may not like me right now. You may not like me tomorrow. And I still don't care, because I'm still your mama. I'm going to still come in this room. I'm still going to get my kisses. I'm still going to keep in there bothering you. I'm going to be a nag in your a thorn in your side. So that's how I started getting her. It's like, and I would see little jabs she'll be trying to hit me with. You know what I'm saying? Trying to come back with a little sharp tongue. Baby, I'm witty. You can't catch me. I caught it already. I done caught the shade. I got my tone lokes on, baby. What you thought? I'm with you. So I had to come at her in a different way, because she was used to, you know what I'm saying, somebody like, oh, what would you want? You know what I'm saying? She was already used to that. So if you respond differently, they don't know how to come at you. They have to back down. You gotta bring your shoulders down, because they not up here no more. Now you gotta come on down where I'm at. Baby, come on up over here, because you're gonna have to call me. You're gonna be asking me for stuff, and I'm gonna still be right here. I cuss her out. I'll block her all on my Facebook. I'll block her on Messenger. I'll block her off my phone. And when I'm ready to talk to you, then I'll talk to you. You ain't gonna say what you want to say, then think you're gonna have access to me after that. Girl, bye.
Oh my goodness. Right.
but that's how I do. That's how I act with her, because this is their generation.
Yeah.
So if I keep trying to do her the way I was done, it's not gonna work. So you gotta respond to them what they understand in their language.
Yep.
So if you talking crazy, I'm not gonna be sitting here with daisies in my head, like, yeah, girl, come on back over here and talk to your mama. No, no, you're getting blocked. So when you sit on what I said and it marinated, then I unblock you. Now she got to go through my mama. Now she got to go through other channels to get to me. So it's not toxic, but it worked. It's effective, because then what I said to her, she still got to look at those last words that I said to her, and it has to marinate. Now I got to sit in, because now you can't come back with a comeback. Now you sitting up there talking to yourself. Now you got to explain to your grandma or your granddad. You got to explain to somebody else. Why your mama ain't talking to you? Well, I did say such and such, or I did this. There you go. Because you're not gonna just leave me out here on Alcatraz by myself. I ain't get there. You know what I'm saying? You push me out there. So that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And when you get it together, then we gonna talk. So that's it works. It works. Unfortunately, it works.
Alicia, so have you had that experience?
I have not, thankfully. I would say, and I think one of the reasons why I haven't experienced that, and I'm not going to say yet, because I'm not even going to put that in the atmosphere. I'm not going to experience that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, I have to realize that my kids are their own personalities, and they're people, and I ain't got to be friends with everybody, but I allow them to have space to where they can talk to me if they need to. But I allow them to grow. I try to put myself back into my 14-year-old's mind, and what was I thinking at that time? Yeah, my mom was annoying. So I'm probably being annoying to him right now too. So I'm just gonna chill, you know? Same thing with my daughter. I'm learning them, and I'm allowing them to become the pre-adults that they are going to be, that's going to turn into the adults, because at some point they're not going to have me or their father around anymore. So I got to make sure that they have room to grow. But at the same time, this does not mean they don't get corrected.
Right.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
they don't be talking to me crazy,
Right.
because they know
Right.
I'm going to correct it if it needs to be corrected. But
Right.
yeah, I pray to God that I don't have to experience that.
Yeah. I feel like for me, because my oldest and me, we kind of clash a little bit in our personalities, and for me, because they both spoil. For me, being the only child, like I was. Anybody tell you I was up under my mother, like all the time. Wherever she went, I was at. Like it was, they call me Little Denise sometimes. Like I was underneath my mom, like all the time. So for me, and Camille, it wasn't really like that. Like she's a daddy's girl, and my mother's is a single parent too. So maybe maybe that's the reason why. But Camille's all up under Elton, and it's evolving now to where she wants to be around me more than she is, wants to be around Elton now that she's kind of maturing and things like that. But yeah, our personalities are very, very different. Like she is very, very opinionated and like very like, if she want to do something, you'll know it. If she doesn't want to do something, you will know it. So for me, it's been a bit of a struggle to like navigate the old school type of parenting that I'm used to, where it's like, girl, or but I'm learning her and I'm learning her personality, and I'm trying to break through like all of those things with like just my communication with her, and just like really like coming in and like, because she likes to be isolated, like she'll go up to her room and like read a book or like play with her dolls or whatever, but I'll come into her room, I'll sit down, like I'm not going nowhere, I'm not gonna stand up because I'm not leaving out, let me sit down next to you and just really like talk to her, and just getting all the tea, on her little 5th grade tea, like what's going on with your friends, what's going on, and just letting her know that I'm here, and that I'm, a listening ear, and I'm here for her, but also, still checking her, because child, them hormones are serious.
They're just starting.
They've been. I feel like they've
all
been
over the place. Yeah.
like I feel like they've been since she's been about 8.
8 to 12 is a stage, and then that 13 to 18, that's 13 to 16 is another stage, and then that 16 and up, 17 and up, that's a whole nother stage as well. So
and that's why I'm trying to get a handle on 11.
Yeah, you're doing good. Y'all doing good. Yes.
Because it's definitely no joke. So like I'm learning to just be a listening ear, to take my time, and to just but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, Jackie had talked about hers.
Okay. Yeah, I would say first of all, prayer. If you're a believer, prayer is good.
Yes.
It's a keeper, sustainer,
necessary.
Very necessary.
Yes.
Prayer and patience for sure. The other thing is to just ground rules, so having ground rules and boundaries is important. Because what I have come to realize with relationships is the things that people you don't get along with is probably because they're not doing what you want them to do. Or they're not doing it the way you want them to do it. It's those things that really annoy you. It's like, why are you folding the towels, halfway widthwise, and then a book fold, and then, when somebody dropped her head, right? Versus the other way and folded the other way. So early on, especially because I'm raising boys, I didn't want to nag them to death, right? And just absolutely get on their nerves. I had to step back and go, you know what? It's not worth it. That is a deal breaker. If they don't fold the towels the way I want them to fold the towels. So some of it, specifically as women and being mothers and wives, we can be very petty.
Mhm.
Just we're annoying. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. We could just be very demanding for no reason. So I really had to take that step back and go, that is an unnecessary issue to have because life is going to be lifing. So and chemicals are going to be brewing and stewing. So let's just keep the hard conversations for the real things. So if you fold that way, that's all good. If you wipe down, well, you better wipe down the kitchen and get all the chicken juices up. I will say that. But if there are things where I will let them have autonomy, that's one thing. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like basically the whole point is pick your battle.
Yes.
There's some things that are gimmies, and then there's some things that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter, you know. So allowing them to have that autonomy and that freedom to flex a little bit, I think is very, very helpful. And then like I said before, appreciating who they are, identifying that they actually may be mirroring you.
Yes.
Or they could be reflecting something of your spouse. Because guess what? They are a part of both of us, right?
Right.
Or they could be bringing in traits from grandma, granddad, auntie, uncle. So it's like, oh my God, you remind me of Uncle Sonny. Oh, geez. So just being able to understand what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with, right? And be able to appreciate it. And then if it is a negative trait, because there are some things that we came into this life with, personality-wise, that are negative. And you want to help coach that out of them, you know. So that's really what I say, you know. Let them be good in their skin, but when whatever their personality is going to buck the system and it's going to come up and meet you, you know, in a negative way, then that's where you can be helpful and love it out of them, and then love some good stuff into them.
Yes.
Powerful. Yeah, that's very powerful.
Can I say one last thing? I would tell my sons, guys, I love you. Like love is never even an issue. That's not even a question, right? I would die for you, period, right? But one of my goals for them was I want us to like each other. I would actually say that. I want us to like each other. And now that they are adults, I can honestly say we like each other. We're not necessarily agreeing.
Right.
It's not necessarily that you like the rules of the house when you grew up or whatever, but we like each other. Mono to mono.
Right.
That's it.
That's good. That's real good. All right. So yeah. You wanna ask? Okay.
So I'm gonna pivot into a different question for y'all. So how do you approach discussing difficult topics with your children, so such as mental health or sexuality? So just in general, just difficult topics. How do you navigate that?
I'll go. I'm definitely gonna go because boy, do we have a time. But you know what? I never, try and glaze over or go around anything. Straightforward and direct, because that's how they see the images on TV. That's everything. That's everything around them. So being straightforward and direct, and don't hide anything. There was. It's funny that my mother said, I didn't talk about it because I figured you wouldn't do it.
Wow.
So you telling me this boy liking me and he go to rubbing on me and I didn't know what to do. So very inexperienced. That's probably one of the reasons why I became a teen mom. Because I'm getting advice from my friends. We all the same age. What was they advising me on?
Right.
We all were inexperienced, but making sure of that. So when I did have the sex talk with my kids, I showed them the diseases and infections first. And then we talked about.
Ooh, we had that at BV.
No, it was something, a blue waffle. That thing, I was like, okay, yep.
What? Wait, say it again. What was it?
Blue waffle.
A
Yes.
blue waffle?
Blue
Yeah.
waffle, yeah.
Oh,
So,
I gotta look that up.
oh yeah,
You
you
don't
gotta see
want to.
pictures and images.
No, I'm gonna look it up with Camille. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh no, you're gonna terrify her.
Jesus.
She's not ready
Good.
yet.
Google it now.
Go.
But that was one of the things, and I believe me having that talk with them saved especially my girls, and from being teen moms. But I also have 3 boys as well, so being respectful and knowing, if she say no, that means no.
Yes.
Like, you have to protect yourself as well as her, and having that integrity there. Most of my children were in long dating relationships because they knew what to do. They were equipped mentally, emotionally, and physically. And they didn't date too early. When sometimes you're so strict, your kids sneak around and they get into a whole lot of somethings that they're not able to talk to you about because they're hiding things from you. So I made sure we talked about, when I say everything, I mean everything.
Yeah.
If it down to, hey, if it don't smell right, get out of there. Or flip the light on and make sure what is
Make sure ain't no blue waffles.
We're like, we had to have them talk. Like, make sure what's there is there.
Exactly.
I'll go next. I would say having difficult conversations. We told the older two, and a lot of these conversations are going to be referred to the older two because we ain't there with the 5-year-old and 3-year-old yet. But I would say that we allowed the space for them to express themselves the way that they want to express themselves, but also allow them to be comfortable in talking to us. So we've had this talk with our oldest kid, DJ, about sex, all that and stuff, and told him, and we weren't going to throw the Bible at him because I think in our generation and in our culture, we just like to throw the Bible at our kids and be like, well, it says you can't do it because the Bible says you can't do it. But I give it to them realistically. I say, listen, you're going to have those feelings, the feelings below and the feelings in your head. You're going to want to experience that and get that out. And I get it. And sometimes people can't wait until they're married. Prime example of me. I can't expect them to do it because I didn't do it. But also I want them to know that to honor themselves, just because you can doesn't mean you have to, but then we actually had this conversation with our oldest one, because he wanted to start dating. He wanted a girlfriend. And I said, what does that entail? So he's like, oh, go out and support her at her sporting events and go to the movies and all that stuff and do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, all right, cool. That sounds like a really good friend to me. It doesn't sound like you guys got to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And I think that's another thing is that we try to push on, like, you got to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. Like, that is it. Like, that is the title that you have to have. No. Get to know this person. Right. See if this is a good feel for you or not. Right. But me and my husband were just really happy that he even came to us because, like you were saying, Ms. Tucker, the kids are going to do what they want to do. And they're going to do it behind our back, especially if we try to fight as hard as we can against it. But the fact that he came to us asking us first if he can have a girlfriend, that's not very common nowadays. Right. It's more of like, hey, I got this girl. I like her. Here she is. Type thing, So I think a lot of it was just allowing them to be able to speak freely to us, freely but respectfully. Is our thing.
That's a testament to you guys as parents as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I did throw the Bible at them. I beat them. BLE. Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth book. I did. Yeah. But I also I think like Alicia said too, and Tamara, you also have those real heart-to-heart conversations. Like, especially when you're raised by older people, they don't talk to you about these things. And it's like, why didn't you explain these things to us, guys? It's just, For me, I broke down all those barriers because it doesn't have to be that hard and it shouldn't be that difficult. Because for me, anyway, with a Christian worldview, that's the way the Lord made us anyway. So let's celebrate it.
Uh-huh.
All these things, we're gifts. A woman is a gift, a husband is a gift. Marriage is a gift, relationships, being the brother, being the sister, all this is a beautiful thing. But
Yeah.
how do you comport yourself within those relationships?
Mm.
But not only within those relationships, but how do you even relate to yourself? So just making sure they're happy, they're confident, they're comfortable and loved in their own skin and able to problem solve those things that they're already battling with. And then that makes them a healthy person to join up with even a friend. Because there's some people that can't even have a friend.
Yes.
You can't even just have a regular friend to go get a slice of pizza with, because there's just so much inner confusion and turmoil and frustration. You know what I mean? So for me, I helped them as best I could. And we even had mental health experts. My kids went to therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's more than we have to be holistic about certain things,
Absolutely.
So it was really just making sure that they were healthy and happy and understood how they were wired, their stubbornness, if they're a little bit lazy or they got their strengths, weaknesses, and issues. This is what we got, guys.
Right.
This is going to be appropriate. This is not going to be appropriate. And then keep it moving. And teaching them, like Tamara said, to appreciate themselves and to respect themselves.
Yes.
I also threatened them with responsibility. In most society, when a woman has a child, she's the one left with the kids, right?
Right.
I threatened them with responsibility. I let them know, if you have a junior, I am going to press that you have sole custody, not to exclude her, but to make sure you're waking up at 2
You
a.m.
do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
and to make sure that 7 o'clock in the morning you're getting a baby and you're dropping junior off at the daycare. You will, because I was a single mom at one point, so I'm going to break that line of thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful.
It's just getting the ugly stuff out, put the good stuff in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did. I went through it. I'm experiencing it with my second oldest now, but I went through it with my oldest. She pretty much was my teacher. You know what I'm saying? To get prepared for the other three girls that's coming under her. I haven't had it far as with my boys because they the babies out the group. So I only experienced that that talk in those phases and stages with my oldest daughter, and now I'm experiencing it with my second oldest, my 15-year-old. But the key thing that I noticed that all of us mothers are very hard and sticklers on is the respect, for them to respect themselves and respect others, because it's so easy to get lost, and they don't understand that they're using emotional judgment at the time. They're not using logic. That part of their brain haven't kicked in. So it's all about how you make me feel, how I make you feel. It's a feeling, and they don't understand feelings change, emotions change, So you have to understand that, this is not permanent. You have a baby, that's permanent. You know what I'm saying? You got to kick out what's gonna happen if you choose to give in to your urge, things of that nature. So I had to make sure that, hey, I know I was a teen mom, but if I can break this cycle, I'm gonna break this cycle. My thing is to be open and give them an open door for them to come and have those hard conversations with me. If you liking girls or whatever, I need to know. Because just because it's a girl don't mean that she deserves less respect. No, she would deserve respect too, because she's a person. So it doesn't matter the gender. That's what's going on with today's society now. They made it's okay to be like this. I'm not against it, regardless of the fact, whatever you choose, whoever you decide to choose, I'm still gonna love you. I'm still gonna love you. It doesn't mean you making a wrong choice, but I have to let you know that, hey, if you go this way, this and this is what's going to happen. We did not have these conversations when I was younger. We didn't have these conversations or topics come up in our schooling either. With, you know what I'm saying, when you had what is it, parent education classes or something like that they have you have, we didn't
Life
have nothing
skills.
about same sex.
Mhm.
They ain't had nothing in our books that talked about that at
Yeah.
all. You know what I'm saying? So this is their generation. These are the things that they are dealing with today. So it's a lot of stuff that they're dealing with that we didn't have to deal with, or our parents didn't have to deal with. It wasn't in your face so much. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you got to talk to them about things like that. You got to let them know you have to respect you at the end of the day. It does not matter if this person is trying to coach you into doing something. Stand on your principles. Stand on what was told to you. You have to understand, hey, let me sit back. I want to see how they're gonna handle this. I want to see if that information and them jewels and them nuggets I gave them, if it's gonna kick in when it's time to kick in. Because if it's not, then what am I doing? It's something that I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna have to go back and go and look in the mirror and figure out what did I do wrong, and if that information translated into actual action. You know what I'm saying? So I have, and I seen it, and so my like I said, my 15-year-old, she's navigating it now. And so it's not that she got a boyfriend or she got a girlfriend, but it's so crazy at this age to hear middle schoolers having babies. I couldn't even fathom having no kid in middle school. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is big, because these are the conversations and the topics that parents should be having, because they see their other peers having babies. They see, you know what I'm saying, what's being talked about and things like that. So I'm glad that my child, she has a strong mind. I'm glad they all do have a strong mind. They're not easily led. But what do you do with those children that are easily led? You know what I'm saying? That somebody got to talk to them. So when they friends come around and things like that, what I talk to mine about, I talk to them too. Because I feel like if your mom entrusting you over here to my house, the motherly love gonna come all the way around. I'm not cutting nobody out. I'm definitely giving.
Yeah. That's good.
You know?
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I think that knowledge is definitely power. And the more knowledge you give your child, you equip them to be able to make the best decisions. So, like, for me, I talked to Camille about sex pretty early on. I was very direct with her. She was maybe like 7. And I had a conversation with her because I wanted her to know. And I think also not just about sex, but about, your body parts, like when they were very, very young. Letting them know the appropriate terms for their body parts, and that no one should be touching these parts or asking them to touch it. Like all of those things is very important to give to a child, to be able to, articulate and to protect themselves when you're not, because you're not always there. So yeah, I think that it's important to have direct conversations, and to also allow them to be able to come to you and tell you how they're feeling. We're not at the point with Camille yet in terms of like dating or anything like that, but yeah, but it's just preparing her and giving her the information, because showing sexually transmitted diseases, showing childbirth, like all of those things. Like when I was in school, we had to take that little baby doll home, and it would cry at like 2 a.m. for a whole hour, and you gotta make sure that you do what you're supposed to do to take care of that little baby doll. Like those things educate you, they prepare you, and they get you mentally like, okay, this is what even though it's not real, but it's like I can kind of see what my life would be like if I had to do this, you know what I mean? So I think those conversations are so important. I agree with everything that everybody said. It's you have to give them all of the information, the spiritual information, the physical information, all of those things.
The emotional, because that's another thing too.
What goes,
that boyfriend girlfriend thing, people always was like, it's puppy love. Like
Right.
You, this your heart. This your
Yeah.
mind. Your
Yeah, you
emotions are
cannot
real.
diminish
Yeah.
how your
Yeah.
kid is feeling either. You can't
Yes.
diminish and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because we've been there. And I think
That
transparency
emotional
is
stuff
also
is
the biggest
real.
thing as well.
Yeah.
Transparency is
Absolutely.
very important. You know, like how Alicia said, you know, I can't tell you not to do it because I did it. You know,
Yeah.
we've done it. We've had premarital sex. I can't
Mhm.
say, you know, it necessarily you know, act like I haven't. Or let me just phrase it that way. I can't act like I haven't been where they've been,
You are right.
or what they're feeling or what they're thinking.
Mhm.
Like you have to be real,
Right.
and
But you
understand
can
that they're going
guide
to
them
have
to
these
what the
thoughts.
best decision
Yes,
is.
exactly.
Yeah.
You just have to
Absolutely.
give them the give them what they like. Yes, we've done this, but if I had the choice to go back and make a different decision,
Right.
I
you
would.
know,
Now
this
that you
might,
know you have a choice.
Right. When you
if
know
you
better,
have
you
a
do better.
choice,
Yeah.
and I can give you my life experience and tell you, you know, how this turned out. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
In
Well,
my
I want to say something.
profession,
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
in,
Mommy,
in my
promise.
in my profession, I had she was 11 years old and she was about to be due, and I had to teach her baby basics. And the boyfriend was 12, and I'm choking back tears.
Mm.
Dad choking back tears. He was like, I thought if I provided her with everything, because he was always off working,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't think that would happen. He provided her, like he said. And I'm like, oh my God, she has no idea. She's getting ready to give birth and how horrible that pain is.
Involuntarily pain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I literally was crying because even though I had 6 children, I didn't feel labor until like the labor pains, and that pain was awful. It was
Mm.
until my 6th child.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. God grace to me for that. But and just imagine that and thinking about that, I'm like, oh my God, she has
Is
no
she a
idea.
baby? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and I think a big thing too with parents is that we feel a lot of guilt a lot of times
Mhm.
if your child decides to make a different decision. But
Mhm.
I feel like that is something that we have to like understand. Like if you do the best with what you have, right? You give the
Yeah.
information
That's true.
Yes.
and you plant the seeds, and you know, and then they have to make their own decisions, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Free
you
will
cannot,
agents.
yeah,
Yes.
you can't beat up on yourself if your child decides to, you know, go a different route or make a different
Mhm.
decision, you know, and you have to give yourself grace, and you also have to give your child grace, you know what I mean?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Because everybody has their own journey to live, their own, you know, their own walk, yeah, that they have to go along. So
Yeah.
yeah. You was gonna say something?
Oh no, I put it in the chat.
Oh, oh.
I put it in the chat.
Okay, so Elton said he thinks being
Mhm.
dismissive of kids' feelings is one of the biggest mistakes you can make.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
I
You
agree.
gotta validate them.
I feel like that's what turns the tide on that decision making. If you try and tell your parents, you know, I'm feeling this, and you're like, oh, it's just puppy love. So now they just say with 11, 12-year-old, they go and have sex because it's valid to them. They feel like their feelings are valid.
Right.
And
And
the
they
reason
are.
I bring that up, when I was in church, we had a church summit. We had a panel like this, and we talked to my teenagers. And one of the older men was like, "Oh, that's just puppy love. That ain't real." And I was like, to them, it's real. You can't tell them that. I was like, that's the biggest mistake you can tell them. To them, that's real.
Mhm.
That's their feelings. Their feelings
Yeah.
are valid. So you can't be dismissive of them. Just because we're older, you may be married, but you ain't where your marriage is at now wasn't where it was at the beginning, or
Right.
the relationship. So you can't be dismissive of their feelings. All right, that's all.
No, not at all.
No, I agree with that. Your body follows your feelings.
That's it.
But
All right, we're gonna get into some lighter stuff in just a little bit. We're not gonna hold y'all all day, but so yeah, I wanted to talk about how balance, right? So how do you balance your personal life and, you know, career with being a mother?
I built my schedule around my kids. I built my schedule around my kids. I'm not gonna lie, because I was open to just like whatever job I wanted to go off into and see. I stayed in the medical field, and I've been in the medical field for over 20 years. So I had to choose to, hey, if I'm gonna take the morning shift or I'm gonna take the night shift. And so I had to learn, like, don't do something that's gonna you're gonna regret. And at time when you're gone, you don't get that back. You don't get to rewind them and pull that string back and say, okay, I want to let's do this. It's more so like what works for you. You got to figure out that intricate locking right there.
Yeah.
Because what everybody else was like, oh, why you don't work while they at school? Because something can happen while they're at school, while I'm at work. Then I gotta lose out on money. Then I gotta, you know what I'm saying, leave work. You know, I got all of this stuff to think about because I am a single parent. I don't have the second parent there. So I had to make the decision on building my schedule completely around my children. No, I don't want to work while they're at school because anything can happen. I want to make sure that I'm present for their programs, their parent teacher meetings, their games, anything, practice. I want to be there. I don't want to be at work or trying to call somebody else to come and sit in for me when they looking for their mother.
Yeah.
They ain't looking for nobody else. They want mama there. They want to hear mama voice. They want to hear mama cheering. So I chose third shift. And third shift was more easier on me because I was not overly tired by the time I got off because my residents, they were sleeping. I had to do the bare minimum to make sure that they were okay. So that helped me not be what you call it, hardwired, and it helped me not be overly stimulated by the time I got home, so I can be there for them. I didn't want to be waking up all groggy and, you know, I got to get them off to school. Everybody rushing. You don't get to have time with them. You can't cook breakfast. You can't, you know, sit there and give them their daily affirmations for them to have a good day at school, encourage them, let them know what's going on. Like that's what means more to me. I want to be the present mom. I don't want to be the not present mama. So that helped me out a lot. And so in return, my oldest daughter, she stepped into the medical field as well. So once me and her was working side by side when we was in the hospital, I felt good because I'm looking like, hey, there go my baby right there. You know what I'm saying? Me and her, she on one shift, I'm on the other shift. So it really helped because, you know, I felt like you cannot get that back. When they little, that's when they really, really need you. When they come to them teenagers, they really need you. And now that I'm dealing with an adult, she still needs me. I still need my mama. You know what I'm saying? She ain't turned that off, baby. When I call, MF better answer that phone. And if
She
she don't
blocked you.
no, she ain't blocked me, not this time. Baby, she better answer that phone. I calls my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God that I still have her. You know what I'm saying? Because she lost her mother, so she don't have that anymore. I'm talking about the way how me and my mama locked in. Me and this lady be talking, FaceTiming at least about 6-7 times a day. Y'all would think we was married. Yep, I am. I'm married to her forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. And so I give me, so I feel like I get me back. You know what I'm saying? And it's so good to feel that and see that is that when you put in, you getting it back. You know what I'm saying?
That rejuvenates you to be able to give back to you.
Oh my gosh, yes, so much.
Get that back. That's rewarding to you.
Yeah, that's where it's at because you want them to be happy. You don't want them sitting in, and I see so many kids that when they looking out in that crowd, their parents ain't there. You know what I'm saying? And how hurtful that is to them. How that makes them feel like they're unimportant. You don't want to feel like you're unimportant. You don't want to feel like you don't matter. Am I not important enough for them to even show up? You know what I'm saying? And so I had to look at that like, no, you need to be there because you ain't gonna get no another chance at this again. You got to do it right.
Good.
That's real good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. And that's very, I'm going to piggyback off her. That is the reason why I worked third shift for so many years. And it went from me being there, like you said, being there for the games, being there. Actually, they created a position at the school for me as a parent liaison because I was always there. I was PTO president. I'm there wherever my children are. That's where I'm there. I'm volunteering. I'm trying to get other parents in. I'm recruiting, and nothing has changed. Even now that I'm a grandparent, it just starts all over again with that. But when you know what kind of day your child has had when you're in that school, you know that atmosphere. If you in that school atmosphere, you know they're gonna need a moment before they, have to do chores at home before they get into that homework. It was so many kids that was coming to the school. The one guy, I put a quiet room in the school. Sometimes kids need to just go and have a breather because you just don't know what they going through at home.
Yes.
So he came to the school. He was like, "Mrs. Tucker, I just need a moment." He's like, "I just need some peace and quiet. I got yelled at home because I didn't get my brothers and sisters up for school and we missed breakfast." That's not his that shouldn't have been his
Responsibility.
responsibility.
That's not.
He has a parent, but a lot of these kids have to raise their siblings because
Yes.
mom may be off at work. And and put the responsibility on on the older sibling, or mom just may not be there, and they surviving how they surviving, and we had to realize that, and that's why being at peace for the kiddos at school is one of the things. So, after I got out of that profession, that's when I was like, oh no, parenting. We got to touch bases on this parenting because they got the
Yes,
game
ma'am.
twisted. Parents don't realize how important they are. Like, there's no bad parent, but if you're trying to get it right and you every day you making that effort to love the children that you brought into this world, you doing the best you can with what you got. And we just want to equip.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. You got to do your best, right? So for as a parent, for me personally, I did I said family first because for me, family is the first ministry. So family first, church family was second. Everything else was going to fall into place. And so Chris and I actually we would piggyback. Like he would work at daytime and I work at night, especially trying to avoid that daycare bill. So we would tag team, you know what I mean? But I definitely wanted just to piggyback off that how Miss Tamara said, you got to just do your best because we can, especially as parents, moms and dads, we will put a lot of pressure on ourselves because our work schedule is what it is, whatever. Just do your best to be your best. Talk to each other, and that's what Chris and I did. Okay, what's the best for our family?
Yes.
And there may be times when I do miss an event, or there may be times when he'll miss an event, or times we'll miss a doctor's appointment or whatever. But as long as we're saying it's family first, it's a family focused environment, God-centered family focused, then you won't fail.
Right.
You won't fail. So that's how we balanced it. Family first. And that was also putting parameters and boundaries. Because guess what? You're not going to do Xavier and Miles. You're not going to have me going to karate, baseball, football, soccer, piano. And no. You pick one event. God bless you if you're on your way. One thing per season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that can stretch you.
Oh.
Yeah, that
That
burnout
stretches
is real.
you. That stretches your money, your bandwidth, your mental bandwidth.
Yes, it does.
No, like so putting those boundaries on. Yep. Yep. Yes.
I would say real quickly that for the longest I was working overnights and my husband was working days. And then now we're both on days. But thankfully I've been blessed with a career where I can flex my shift or the hours I work and get off early, go in late or whatever the kids need. But we prioritize, Daniel and I prioritize date nights because we wanted the kids to see that, yes, we are mother and father, but we're also husband and wife. And so my favorite thing, and my mother-in-law told me, the best thing she saw was Daniel and I getting dressed up to go out on a date.
So
like cute. We got real fancy because we were like, our kids need to see this. Like they need to.
Oh wow.
Yes, sorry. That they need to see us going out and having dates or whatever. But also, like with me getting back into my shows, letting them know like you can still go after your passion while also having a family. And it's also being a blessing to having the kids come watch me in these shows, seeing me be more than just their mom, more than just a wife, see me as a woman, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how we work things out.
That's good. Yeah. What was the question again?
About how do you balance your personal life and career with being a mother?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that was hard for me. That was a real big adjustment to adjust with the career and family and personal life, because for a long time I was working, and then I also had a business that I was trying to do and get off the ground and make successful. So that took a lot of my time. And that was about 3 years that I was working, being an entrepreneur, and trying to, balance family. And it was very, very hard. And I was very unsuccessful for the most part. And part of our move here to Mexico, I made the decision to let the business go because
I live in Houston, Texas, just for purposes.
Part of the decision of our visit to Mexico was me letting go of the business, because it took so much time away and it wasn't important in the big scheme of things, right? So we were trying to make it successful and all of those things, but at the end of the day it was too much time. I wasn't at home with the kids. Oh, we got somebody knocking on the door. We weren't at home. I wasn't at home with the kids. I'm out trying to, go to these shows and things like that, these vendor opportunities, and it wasn't worth it. So part of that balance has been this move that we made, and it's been great. We, walk our son to school every day. We work remotely. We've been working remotely for probably at least the past 4 or 5 years. I have. And it's been great to just be home when kids get home from school, and so I think it's an evolving process, but yeah. All right. So how do you prioritize self-care for yourself?
I'm still struggling.
Still struggling?
I'm still struggling with that.
Yeah.
And that has been a teeter-totter for me, because I still feel so pulled towards the kids. And it's like and like you said, we all experience that motherly guilt. It's like, dang, if I give too much here, if I put too much money on myself over here, it's like, that could go to something towards for the kids. And so I'm still riding that wave. Because I went through it with my oldest, but I think because it was just me and her for so long, because she got 8 years on my second daughter. So I didn't have another kid until Shania was 8. So it was just literally me and her locked in. So we going to get our nails did. We going to the spas. We going out to eat every Friday. You know what I'm saying? I put them that day aside just for me and her. So I was able to do more for myself when it was just her. But now that I had the other ones, that's been a wave. That's been rocky for me. So I'm still trying to find that stability there. Yeah. I'm not even there yet. I can't even sit here and say like, yeah, I'm there yet. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I would say my self-care happens before they even wake up. So I've learned to treat the gym as my self-care moment. Who, Lord, because Lord knows I hate getting up. But that's the time that I can get my brain together, get my thoughts together, get ready for the day. So I'm up at the gym at 5 a.m. And it be hurting, but I be going because I want to be the best mom that I can be, right? So I can't be the best mom that I can be if I'm not prioritizing myself.
Mhm.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I go and work out. I get my workout done. So then by the time they're up and running, I can chase after them. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I refuse to put myself aside. You know, because like I said, I got to be healthy. I got to make sure that I'm good mentally, physically for them, so that I can tell them, hey, you need to be mentally and physically healthy as well.
Mhm.
So you know, actions before words, right?
Right.
So I'm showing you what I'm doing, so
Right.
that you can learn how to do it.
Mhm.
That's it. See, got somebody at my door now.
That's good. Jackie had to leave us. She had to
Oh.
go.
Okay. Well,
I miss you, Jackie.
Right.
yeah, she's not even out here anymore. So I do prioritize my self-care time. I run it in, like, if we have Bible study on Wednesday nights, after I leave Bible study, I'm going to take myself out to eat, because most times it'll be, me going. And from there, I go with the wind. Whatever happened in that week, I'm gonna make sure I get my self-care in. So I
Okay.
get it in at least 2 to 3 times. But I give my time in the morning to God, hands down. That I don't even classify that as self-care or anything. I From 3 to 5, faithfully, I wake up and I spend my time with God. Now some days he'll switch it up on me and I'll sleep in, or I'll wake earlier than that. But other than that, at least 2 hours with God, just sitting and just talking.
Yeah.
I want to be like you.
You know, only reason why I do it is because I worked I worked third shift for like about 25 years. So that
Wow.
time is I'm okay
Yes.
with getting up
Yeah.
at that time.
So you
And
already,
you already wired for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Amen.
Sleep for me is self-care. I consider it self-care.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
time I get to sleep in the morning, that is definitely a self-care moment for me. I definitely retail therapy, and I'm trying to find another outlet. I have yet to find one as satisfying, but
Thank you.
I will continue to try to find a different outlet for self-care outside of shopping. Yeah, we do. I meet up with girls a lot, just to like hang out in the afternoon sometimes. We do date nights.
I know. I seen y'all posting them.
Yeah, if we can get in like a massage or a pedicure or something like that,
I got Harry Tubman feet, so we gotta get some pedicure.
Ooh wee.
He has
Don't do that.
Everybody in
Don't
the
do
family
that.
ain't got them
Don't
feet.
do
I
that.
just want y'all to know
he
that.
has whole Flintstone feet.
Listen, everybody ain't got them feet in the family. That might just be him.
It's definitely something. I don't know. It's something else. But yeah, I think like you say, you can't pour if you're empty. So it's very important to prioritize it. And our very last question is just what advice do you have for new mothers? Yeah, like what advice would you give to new mothers that are just starting out on their motherhood journey?
Ooh, so I have quite a few friends at church are just popping out their babies, right? New moms. And I tell them, you don't strive to be a perfect mom.
Perfect.
Be the mom that they need,
Okay.
Don't be the mom that you see on Instagram. Don't be the mom that your mom was. Be the mom that God has created you to be. Because we're all different. And you can take nuggets from other people. That's fine. That's all, that helps me. But you need to be the best mom that you can be for your child. Because I can't be the mom to your child. So don't try to do what I do.
Right.
So yeah, I would say don't strive to be for perfection.
Yeah.
Just strive to be a mom. That's it.
Yeah. That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna say something. For new moms, take your time.
Yes.
Learn yourself, learn your baby, learn what works for you, get into a regimen that works for you. Do not try to base yourself, like just like Alicia said, off of somebody else's experience, because none of us is perfect, but we perfectly perfect for our children.
Right.
And that's how I feel. It's like what we are and what we give is just right for our babies.
Uh-huh.
Our mamas was just right for us, because and they wasn't equipped with everything. And even if they was, we had them. That was they worked for us. So
Right.
you have to find what your balance. You got to find your voice, and you got to know what works for you. Don't allow nobody to bully you or push you into a space that don't work for you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the dad, his mama, your mama, whoever. You know, you got to make sure that you make your mark. You leave your mark. You want your imprint on your baby to be from you, not nobody else.
That's really
Don't let nobody else raise your child. You raise your child.
right. Right. Yeah. For sure.
All right. So I'm gonna say one word: adaptability. You gotta have adaptability. You gotta be able to roll with the punches. You gotta be able to and accept help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we that new mom, we think we superwoman. No, take that help and get that sleep in, because when it's just you and that baby there, and you're tired and exhausted, take the help. But definitely have that adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me is be teachable. I like everything everybody said, the adaptability, like speaking up and saying when you need help too, like not just taking help, because sometimes people won't offer it because they think you got it, because we always have that strong, I can do it, and you're masquerading as if you have everything, but you haven't said that you need help too.
Right.
So vocalizing I need help, I need help with this or whatever, that's also really important too. So yeah, and I agree with everything everybody said, and we are so grateful to have y'all on this call. We want to wish you a happy early Mother's Day to everyone.
Thank you.
Watching live or watching on the replay. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and all of the those who have acted as mothers in other people's lives. The world would not be
what it is
without mothers, for sure. So
moms are everything.
Yes.
Once again, like the same sentiment. Shout out Erica, Alicia, Tamara,
Jackie
too, right?
Thank you so much, big sis. I love you.
Love you too.
I know those moments, and we're still, navigating our relationship. But I really appreciate. I ain't gonna cry. I always cry.
It's okay.
I really appreciate
Listen, you're
so
human.
You're
human.
Erica, thank you for answering the call. Alicia, I know I hit you up at the last minute, but I thank y'all so much. And my wife, of course, and the reason I did it, she's going out of town, so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and pull the trigger, because me talking, it's not the same with her. She's the mother. I have different perspectives in her on things, and so I appreciate y'all so much. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are, in my opinion, the mother. The Black woman, any woman, is the most important person in our society. We can, as men, give birth. We don't have that gift. So you are shaping a world that's so great. And everything you do, we watch you. Everything she does, I watch her. I'm her biggest fan. And so I thank y'all so much once again for this. And y'all have a great day. Go enjoy your Saturday night.
Thank you.
All right, margarita, a cocktail or something, a glass of wine. At least you go play with that baby. That baby trying to play. Erica, they're gonna be back from the park soon.
Man, what? She already texted me.
When can we come back? And sis, get the cat. I seen the cat come across.
You know what? And none of these, I don't like animals, but I have to because the kids like animals.
Oh, wow.
Well, look, Noah has knocked on the door because we were supposed to go to this anime convention. He's like, hey, man, where we going to go? I'm like, we almost done, son. So thank y'all once again. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy. Love you guys.
All right, y'all. Hold on one second while I'm in the street.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.